The name of that song is titled Hangman, and it was written and recorded by my special guests today, Cassie and Maggie, who are Nova Scotia-based Irish, American, Canadian, Gaelic singer-songwriters and music players. They will be playing tonight, May the 17th, at Conway Muse at 8 o'clock p.m. in Conway, Washington. Cassie McDonald, thank you so much for joining me, and welcome to the Friday Afternoon Music Mix.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I'm delighted to be here.
You are in the midst of a whirlwind tour, I would call it right now, for 90 days, starting at Grass Valley at a Celtic music festival. Then you're back and forth in and out of the United States and Canada at different locales. Tonight at Conway Muse, May the 18th, which is tomorrow night at the Jukebox in Centralia, Washington, with South Olympia. Back up to Vancouver on May 19th at the Rogue Folk Club, Vancouver, BC. Both those shows are at 8 o'clock p.m. Then on to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina for shows. Then back to Prince Edward Island and Nova Scotia. All the shows are under gigs at CassieandMaggie.com. You have 3 albums that are out right now, and you've got a 4th one that is coming out. Tell me a little bit about how you have put your music together, both of you. I know with a name like McDonald, you've got a good Scottish background, so I guess I need not ask why you got into Gaelic music. Are you from a musical family, both of you?
Oh gosh, well, we're sisters, and we're actually the youngest of 54 first cousins, all from Nova Scotia, who are in their own right all incredible musicians. So we always joke that the main reason we started traveling and touring outside of Atlantic Canada was just because there are simply no more gigs left for McDonald fiddle players in the 4 Atlantic Canadian provinces. But no, as you mentioned, we come from Scottish heritage and very, very lucky to have music throughout 7 generations of our family. So our grandfather was just an incredible fiddle player from Antigonish, Nova Scotia. And he was one of the pioneer recording artists from Nova Scotia. He traveled in 1935 for the first time all the way to Montreal on the train. Over the course of 2 trips, he recorded 78 LPs of traditional fiddle music from Nova Scotia. So we come from quite a legacy of amazing musicians, and to be able to use that tradition and have that background, but also give ourselves the freedom to sort of bring that music to a new contemporary setting that hopefully will reach broader audiences is really special to both Maggie and I. Every time we set foot on stage, we carry a little bit of our family and our music that we grew up with, but we're also, putting our own unique kind of modern spin on it, which feels really exciting for both of us.
What a wonderful story. A new album that will be coming out. You have 3 albums, 2 regular albums and a Christmas album. The latest one from 2016 is called The Willow Collection. Previous to that, in 2014, is Sterling Road. You have one just called Cassie and Maggie Christmas. The new album will be coming out this fall, Gold and Coal.
Yes, we're very excited about it. It's, as you mentioned, our last album. We had a Christmas record that came out 2 years ago, but that doesn't really count. Our last full album, as you mentioned, came out in 2016, which is, in music standards, that's about 300 years ago. So it's about time. Whereas, we really, when we put an album together, it's always takes on a life of its own. And we really find a concept album is sort of where we thrive, just to narrow our focus. And it kind of pushes us in directions that we normally would pursue if we were just sort of, taking a broad cross-section of the music that appeals to us and our repertoire. So Gold and Coal, actually being here on the West Coast, is really special because the idea of the album is sort of the dichotomy between the East and the West, and the coal representing your family traditions and the beautiful knowledge that's been passed down from generations to generations. And the gold sort of represents that West Coast, searching for something new and trusting yourself, taking a chance on the unknown and sort of forging a new path. And we really wanted the album to sort of explore that kind of relationship, especially coming from a traditional music background. We're always going back to our roots and really taking our inspiration from old traditional material, but we really are passionate about putting our own unique kind of spin on it. So this album is a way to explore both of those, and neither path is better or easier. They're both equally challenging and rewarding in their own ways. So the music on this record sort of floats between those two ideas. We've got some completely original music that's really contemporary sounding, kind of more pop production. And then we go right back to just a stripped down fiddle instrumental with, the big foot stomp and Maggie on the old piano. And so we have, everywhere from those two ideas in between. The album has that spectrum, and we're really proud of the music and the way that it all came together. So we'll be performing some of the material from that album, kind of a little sneak peek tonight at the Conway Muse and then tomorrow in Centralia. And it's been so fun to sort of have this show right before the album comes out, because it's a bit, our fans are excited for new music and we're able to sort of tease it for them. The album still hasn't dropped, so it's this kind of exciting, almost like Christmas Eve anticipation. We've been really enjoying these shows.
Let's do a second song of yours, which is a Gaelic name called Sheilach.
Sheilach mar báoch an léamh.
Ik zal het voor boeien en leef. Meer is mijn woesam en zal ik uit. Meer ik zal dat de lichtje. Vegen meer uit de smoze. Ik zal het voor boeien en leef.
You both have excellent social media sites. Your website, as I mentioned earlier, is CassieandMaggie.com, YouTube at Cassie and Maggie. And you have a lot of great pictures at Instagram.com/Cassie and Maggie, Facebook.com/Cassie and Maggie. Are you finding social media is your best way to communicate with your fans?
Gosh, Gregory, I mean, that's the $1 million question. I think things are just changing so quickly with technology, and social media. Every time you log on, there's a different interface and a new trend or whatever. So I do find Maggie and I, we struggle to keep up, especially on the road. We're trying to advance the gigs and find time to connect with you and your listeners. So it is overwhelming, but it's part of the job these days. And I think we're lucky to have the opportunity to travel and to meet new people. So to keep in touch with them is very special. Our email list is always our preferred way to stay in touch. It feels a bit more permanent than these, fleeting social media kind of things, but it's super fun. Mostly it's just for our mom at home in Nova Scotia, so she doesn't worry about us, so she can keep tabs on, that we're still okay. We have all of our limbs. We haven't been, kidnapped or anything like that. So, but yeah, social media, it's fun as a way of scrapbooking your career as well, to look back at posts from years ago and remember, hey, we were at Grass Valley in 2016 and we're back again, and we were at the Conway Muse several years ago, and we remember it as one of our most favorite shows that we've ever played. So we're absolutely just delighted to be back again tonight. Really looking forward to it.
When Tom and I talked about your show, he told me he was really happy that we were going to talk today. Let's do another song, this one, and then when we're done, I want you to tell me a little bit about this name. Let No Man Steal Time.
time.
Okay, now, how did you come up with that name?
Well, actually, I'm glad you asked. That's an old traditional English folk song. So we can't really take credit for the writing of that one, but we certainly interpreted the arrangement. Often when you hear that song, it's about 400 years old. And time, let no man steal your time. Time is spelled Thyme for your listeners at home. In the olden days, you had to sort of use euphemisms to describe what you were trying to talk about. And plant euphemisms seem to be very popular within folk music, especially in the English and Scottish and Irish traditions. So time in particular was used as a way to refer to maidenly innocence. So you can probably tell from the attitude of that song, it's a bit sassy. So that poor girl in the song, she's just basically throwing her hands up and saying, you know, don't waste your time. Don't let anyone steal your time. Don't let anyone steal your innocence. You can be your own independent person. So that really spoke to us at the time. We had a lot of fun arranging that song. It's still one of our favorites to perform live.
I want to go back to that social media thing. Are you using TikTok?
We have a TikTok account. It has become so popular with musicians, especially. It's a great way for you to put out some music and then collaborate with people from all over the world. We have the tag ready. We just haven't dipped our toes into it quite yet. But it seems a bit volatile at the moment, so we're just going to wait and see how it all pans out.
The last few interviews I've had, the artists are really putting sound bites on TikTok, just short little things. They have told me that they have really picked up a lot of followers. We're talking about earlier in our conversation that the social media is constantly shifting. And this appears to be one of them now, at least until our Congress bans it. You know? That's the one thing we politicians seem to be able to agree on 100% is TikTok. Nothing else, but that's okay. My special guest today is Cassie MacDonald, part of the sister duo of Cassie and Maggie. They will be playing tonight, May the 17th at 8 o'clock p.m. at Conway Muse. They will be at the Juice Box in Centralia, Washington, tomorrow night, May the 18th at 8 o'clock p.m., then back up to Vancouver, British Columbia on May the 19th at the Rogue Folk Club at 8 o'clock p.m., and then whirlwind from there on to Kitty Hawk, North Carolina for shows, then back up to their native Canada, to Prince Edward Island, and back home to Nova Scotia. All their shows are under gigs section at CassieandMaggie.com. Do you alternate lead vocals between the sisters?
Sort of interesting. And, you know, when we first began as a band, we were completely instrumental. So I was playing fiddle, Maggie was playing piano, and our family are very much fiddle kind of centric, you could say. And then Maggie, you know, she just sort of on her own delved into this world of traditional singing. She won Live Ireland Radio's Vocalist of the Year, and she's been nominated for Traditional Singer of the Year at the Canadian Folk Music Awards. She's really stepped into her own as a lead vocalist. So when we play our instrumental music, I sort of am the lead, and when we sing, she's the lead. So it really feels like a nice balance between the band. And as a duo, you know, you're always trying to pull your weight as much as you can to create the biggest sound as possible. So being a lead fiddler and backup vocalist, and Maggie being lead vocalist and then backup on the instrumentals is kind of an interesting dynamic that you don't often see. So we're really happy to bring that to our fans and audiences.
What inspired Willow in the Willow collection? I've listened to several of the songs on there. I like the Willow hits, Blue Willow, and The Hangman. What inspired you to name so many songs and the album Willow?
Well, that's a great question. So when we started, again, back to our roots as traditional instrumentalists, when we delved into the singing world, we had just an immense kind of canon of music that we weren't familiar with. We really wanted to familiarize ourselves with the traditional music of Scotland and Ireland and North America and bluegrass and Americana and, you know, how all those traditions have come together. So we sort of used the willow tree as a caveat to do research throughout the history of traditional music in North America and coming from Scotland. So the willow tree seemed like a great way to narrow our focus again and from spinning out into the void. You find, for example, we recorded the traditional murder ballad Down in the Willow Garden. And that's one of the oldest songs we have on record that came from Ireland and was adopted into the Appalachian Mountains and the bluegrass tradition. And you hear this song in many different forms and variations throughout all of North America and the West Virginia mountains. That sort of was the first song we recorded for that project. And then we started looking into willow themes from all different eras of music. So we had a little bit of Bury Me Beneath the Willow Tree, which is a great bluegrass standard, one of Dolly Parton's personal favorites. So there's a bit of Johnny Cash in that song. We sampled Big River and a bit of Patsy Cline's Walking After Midnight. So we just sort of started looking for willow references throughout all the musical traditions, Celtic, bluegrass, Americana. And anytime we found a song with willow, we sort of, how can this fit in this record and be part of this collection? So it was, again, sort of a research project, but also manifested in this really diverse but sort of very specific collection of music that all has the theme of the willow tree.
Cassie, it's been an absolute pleasure to talk with you this morning. Thank you
Likewise,
so very much
Gregory.
for joining
Thank
me.
you.
I really appreciate it. I'm wishing you a great show tonight at Conway Muse at 8 o'clock p.m. and for the rest of your tour that will take you up to the 1st of August. Let's do one last song. This is titled Roses Around the Bend.
Shed no tear, the flowers will bloom another year, and weep no more. This raging storm has blown through this old town before. And close your eyes and hear the wind, the fog is slowly rolling in, lying behind. The sun still shines and it'll burn through in good time. It'll burn through in good time. We'll start, then begin again, and we'll start, then begin again. And there's roses around the bend, roses around the bend. And we'll start, then begin again, and we'll start, then begin again. And there's roses around the bend, roses around the bend. Bow your head, they close the show. The lights are starting to get low. Been singing you alone since June. Well, I'll be singing together soon. Well, I'll be singing together soon. We'll start, then begin again, and we'll start, then begin again. And there's roses around the bend, roses around the bend. And we'll start, then begin again, and we'll start, then begin again. And there's roses around the bend, roses around the bend. Well, just keep going when you reach the shore. The road's washed out like this before, and I'll meet you there on the salty air, just like we did before last year. And sometimes things just fall apart and go easy on your weary heart. And I know it's hard to comprehend, but there's roses growing round the bend. We'll start, then begin again, and we'll start, then begin again. And there's roses around the bend, roses around the bend. And we'll start, then begin again, and we'll start, then begin again. And there's roses around the bend, roses around